My name is Robin Stewart, and this is my video on educational thinker Emma Willard. In the 1800s, a curious, smart young girl did not have as many educational opportunities as we do today. Thanks to Emma Willard and her tenacity for change and her radical thinking, girls today have the same opportunities as young boys and men. Emma was the pioneer that began paving the way for educational rights for females, not only in the education realm of learning, but also in employment and in schools. Emma Willard was born in 1787, and thankfully she had a father who cared about her education and what she was able to learn. This intrigued her and just followed her throughout her life. She was a revolutionary in education, and at the time, her ideas would have been considered radical. But she believed that girls deserved the same education and curriculum as boys. In 1814, she opened her first school in Middlebury, Vermont, and she didn't even let location hold her back as she opened the school and held her classes in her living room. This was the first school of higher learning for girls. In 1821, she relocated this school to Troy, New York, and it was renamed the Troy Female Seminary. This was the first school for young women that actually offered a curriculum comparable to what boys in elite schools received. Emma Willard taught math, science, history, philosophy, and geography, but she made major strides and had a huge impact in the area of social studies, even writing a textbook that was used in schools across the country. Willard didn't just change the norms of the times, she just kind of went in and rewrote the rules. The textbooks that she wrote were unheard of at the time. And she became such a legacy for other women and teachers and educators. And those women that were students at some of her first early schools ended up being advocates for education and continue to pave that road for the rest of us. One of her boldest ideas was that women were just as capable as men, that we weren't just to sit at home and be wives and be mothers and married and raise children. She believed that women had the strength to educate, and that in doing that, it would strengthen the public and strengthen society and would help with morality. She also believed that women were extremely intellectual and had the potential to be leaders and educators. One of the critiques of Willard's ideas was that she was limited in her scope, and that her ideas and things that she was able to put in place, while they were good for white middle-class girls, they were not very helpful to women of color and women that lived in poverty, or girls that lived in poverty. The critique that I have for Willard is that she considered herself a women's activist, and even though she was an activist in education, and she did achieve a lot for females in regards as to what we are taught and what we were able to learn, and also that we were able to also kind of take over the role of teaching in the schools, she kind of also, she didn't have any political interest, and therefore she had a voice in her time and considered herself an activist for women, but she chose not to use that in the political arena. And I have a critique that if she had chosen to jump into the political arena, that women's rights in politics, as far as, you know, being able to vote and even be in an elected position, would have been advanced at an earlier time than it was. And I feel that she could have probably made a difference because she had people that listened to her. Another critique that, an outside critique, is that even though she was a conservative and Republican conservative, some of those tensions still arise today as far as should women be in the home or out of the home. But she created the inequality by thinking that men should still be the boss at work in the educational arena. So women would be the teachers, but the men would be the administrators. And that is all of my video for Emma Willard. Thank you.